Some of you may wonder why I bring up image. I urge you, I implore you to consider the difference between a hero who was sabotaged with 16 witnesses and a young person concerned about buying nice clothes to impress their peers. The ability for me to express myself has everything to do with communicating the greatness of God, the goodness inside of me and my righteousness. I have to be able to express myself as who I really am. This has everything to do with interpersonal, intrapersonal, existential, spatial, and other forms of intelligence that include the naturalist form and one's ability to understand where they are in life. There are varying degrees of unreasonable employment in society, and among them includes people who are psychiatrists. Psychiatrists are paid to be unreasonable and to act as social controllers first and foremost. If they happen to improve people's lives and how they feel about themselves in the process of helping to mold and shape the culture and future generations, then that is swell. But the people in charge have proven definitively that they care little about the welfare of people. They care more about their image. The contrast between their image and mine is a high priority of theirs. Certainly, they spend quite a bit of money on my case alone, blinding me, causing me to lose weight, causing me to have problems from running noses to slurred speech based on the drugs and the technologies that they use to keep me down. Materials and substances that they have been researching for many years. They want you to believe that the burden of proof that I'm the top martial artist should be on me. Nothing can be further from the truth. I bring up the example of the leopard, the cat, and the slug. Should the cheetah have to prove that he is faster than the slug? Well, let's explore why this comparison makes perfect sense. This page of my notes I've titled Mind Control, Wise Behavior, and the Burden of Proof. They are under no more mind control than the next person as martial artists who are complicit on their respective path and in their respective culture. Number 2, transcendence, bravery, determination, and understanding why heroism is a requirement when it comes to being the top martial artist and what heroism actually means. Number 3, I display more bravery and wise behavior while persecuted, while facing these obstacles they don't have to face, while on record drugged with psych meds, and off record covertly drugged in a way that causes me to suffer from photophobia, which I have proven definitively in the past. I don't have them around right here, but with the prescriptions for eye drops and other treatments for this problem. Okay, this is not something I'm making up to look good. So even in the word obstacle, we have the word obi, which is a symbol, which is a word pertaining to rank in karate, one of the most popular martial arts systems. Obi, seek El, or seek the Lord, or seek to have your rank. Okay, or God seeks to give you your rank. If God is with me, who could be against me? If that creative force, whether you're a Buddhist, a Christian, or any type of religious person that made us all seeks to give me my rightful place, certainly those who would be against me are less than martial artists, less than men of honor. Number 4, the sun versus La, the bright and shining one, as he's been described in the Papyrus of Ani. Well, what does this have to do with it? Right? Is this my religion that I'm enforcing on all of you? Or is this the obvious thing we all know? The intensity I've displayed, the quickness, the lightning fast reflexes and movements I've shown in my demonstrations. And even when they're slowed down, it still comes off as faster and more precise than anything you've ever seen. Especially when we factor in distance and the coordination and intensity required for somebody who is 6'4" to move that quickly and that effectively. This is where we get the cat, the slug, and the leopard. When a cat jumps on top of a fence post or does some acrobatic feat, why are we impressed? Why are we impressed when they do it and not when the leopard does it? Should the cheetah have to prove to the slug that he is faster? Where should the burden of proof lie? And so this leads me to the next point. The absence of the tall kung fu masters in popular culture, at least, with the same precise movements I have flow and martial art communication. In fact, with the absence of the same precise movements, flow, and martial art communication of the smaller people within their system, proves my point. We also see this in FMA, Taekwondo, Karate, etc. In the Olympics, we see the kicks-only challenges. The absence of an effective demonstration of footwork and maneuverability reflects on their system. I am the only person that represents my system. They have millions of people, more often than not, representing their respective systems. When I was at the park in my first match, the opponent was wearing shoes. I was wearing dress socks on moist grass in the park, coupled with the martial arts footwear for sparring. As he rushed in with shoes, moving effectively as a formidable opponent, I might add, I retreated. The speed of retreating reflects on my ability to move in and strike effectively. When the last opponent was facing me on in a bench area of the park, of a different park, on dirt with some tan bark here and there, okay, sporadically spread out, I showed an ability to leverage my reflexes and to strike his stomach, to reach down and strike his stomach. I believe on more than one occasion. Also the ability to outmaneuver. Okay, this is key. Once you couple the two with my martial art demonstrations, I have displayed an ability to move quickly. My footwork, okay, outmaneuver and strike, okay. This is no small problem that they're facing. No martial arts system other than mine has shown that part of their system includes an ability to move effectively with lateral motion as well when it comes to footwork. They slide from front stances to horse stances to bow stances with half stance motions. This is not the same as skywalking, as the flow of gliding and outmaneuvering the opponent. It is one thing for the old master to outmaneuver someone in his same system who's younger and throw him off balance. It is another thing to outmaneuver someone who is skywalking, who is moving effectively with quicker movements of their feet, who grew up outmaneuvering people playing basketball and understood the principles it takes to outmaneuver someone. Can the martial art master outmaneuver on the basketball court? Michael Jordan, for instance. Why or why not? Can he apply those transferable skills from his footwork to do that? I did the opposite. I applied my understanding and my transferable skills from basketball my son of two doctors' intelligence and my quick reflexes to accomplish the idea of skywalking, to apply it. And even with that one demonstration alone, I've shown that I'm quite capable of it. Imagine if I was wearing shoes on tightly compacted dirt, on concrete, for example, on compact sand, on rural area terrain. I can outmaneuver these people, okay, and strike them effectively, where they move from stance to stance to stance to half stance and rely on fixed positions. They haven't displayed in any martial art demonstration ever presented an ability to effectively address my skywalking technique. Figure it out why that is. Figure it out. What systems are for who and why? How did they cultivate their reproductive cycle and why? How does that relate to their forms of warfare and why? For the same reason the burden of proof is on the cat. It is on the knight. Without his armor, he now has to show that he can outmaneuver the reflexes of somebody who moves lightning fast with cat-like reflexes. No, leopard-like reflexes and hawk or falcon speed. The animals they choose also prove my point. Where are the falcon martial artists? Where are the leopard martial artists? What is the difference between cultivating righteousness with pure truth and working within the system of the communist capitalist paradigm, excluding African spirituality from your speeches as a Black Panther, for instance? The footwork and coordination is key. It is different than the Kung Fu guy demonstrating running across the water. The Shaolin monk, he puts pieces of wood on the water or whatever he does, and he runs across it to a certain degree. That is a straightforward motion. He is also communicating to you that it is superior to have a skywalking motion that he cannot achieve, and he can only best demonstrate that way. It doesn't include the lateral motion that is so commonly associated with the African dance. Where is the African dance in the Shaolin Kung Fu system? Where is the African dance in the karate system or in the FMA system? And how does it contribute to the cultivation? Now, where is the Prince bloodline in the other martial artists who not only do not try to emerge as the top martial artists, which is a requirement, mind you, they are not persecuted to this degree, which is a requirement, obstacle, OB, seek L. He will have the obstacles. But they are not from the royal bloodline of Eri, with the continuity of righteousness and with the African dance body structure forged in a way that allows for leopard and hawk strikes. Okay? And remember, I am greatly reduced. Leopard and hawk strike, boom, 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 block, 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 bang, bang, okay? Certain strikes that I mastered over the years. I go as far as to say my demonstration when I'm sitting down reduced is superior to theirs when they're standing up, having warmed up for a significant period of time. How can anyone listen to this video and not know that the burden of proof is on them? Much less the other videos that prove that I'm right. Much less the sports gene argument of the experts. My description in my videos reflects my intelligence. I have a champion mentality. It's one thing to have a martial arts lifestyle. I have had a champion lifestyle for over 20 years where I was focused with very few breaks on being the best. Not with being a martial artist and being humble, but with proving that I'm the best. My 4-year challenge wasn't even my first public challenge, nor was it my first attempt to prove that I'm the best. It was just one that is open and shut. I am the top martial artist, and I am being persecuted for my political views, just like I said at the beginning of the challenge.